You know that moment when you wake up and, like, part of you, usually your arm, it just feels totally foreign.
Oh, yes. It's deeply unsettling.
Yeah, it's not really pain or panic, not right away. It's more like a quiet, weird absence. You look down and your own arm is just lying there. Pale, quiet, like it doesn't belong to you.
It's like seeing a ghost limb, almost. You tell it to move, and nothing. Just this soft, heavy silence where you expect, the nerves.
Yet the silence, like it's just untethered itself.
Right.
And the really odd part is it doesn't feel broken. It feels released, like your body just put down this heavy thing it was carrying without even asking.
Yes, released. That's the perfect word. A quiet mutiny, as you say.
And that feeling, that specific physical withdrawal, that's what we're really diving into today.
We are. We're looking beyond just the physical mechanics, the pinched nerve idea,
Right.
and more into the psychology. This isn't just a glitch. It feels like the unconscious speaking, using the body.
So we're exploring what you might be carrying, even when you're asleep, listening to this. Language of numbness, of surrender.
Exactly. This is about finding those psychological nuggets, sort of a shortcut to understanding what the conscious mind might be refusing to name.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. If the body's sending a message, why silence? Why numbness instead of, I don't know, a sharp pain? What's the meaning when a limb just checks out temporarily?
Well, it's fascinating because the sleeping arm, in this view, isn't just an arm. It's acting as a stand-in, a psychological double.
A double.
Yes. And this takes us right into a key idea, displacement.
Yeah.
Psychologically speaking, displacement is like the mind's quiet way of managing overwhelm.
Okay.
It shifts the weight you see.
Yeah.
From something emotionally unbearable, maybe some deep conflict or anxiety or just total exhaustion, away from the mind.
And onto the body, like the arm.
Precisely. Onto a more neutral physical site, the arm takes the hit, so to speak.
Huh. So it's not just random positioning. The arm's numbness is linked to a mental burden that just got too heavy. It's a stand-in for the thing we can't quite face.
Exactly that. The mind finds a release valve, and the body provides the physical space for it. The arm that goes numb is often the part of us that's been gripping something tightly.
Gripping, like what?
Oh, it could be anything. A role you feel trapped in, a responsibility, maybe a painful memory you won't let go of, holding on so tightly for so long.
That the nerves just give up, beg for a break.
They beg for mercy, yes. And they're given silence.
Numbness.
Wow. Okay, so if the arm represents, say, the constant pressure of being the strong one or needing control, the numbness is literally the body saying, okay, stopping this performance now.
That's a really powerful way to see it. It's not random, it's strategic, a withdrawal. The unconscious lets that muscle memory of gripping finally release.
So you can feel, the absence.
Yes, the absence of that weight. The limb stops playing its role as the anchor, and you get silence where all that emotional struggle used to be humming underneath. And when you think about that gripping, it feels primal, doesn't it? Like survival. I sometimes get this sense of deep-seated attachment, almost like a child clutching onto something, holding a parent's clothes maybe, holding on so tight even when the hand goes numb because, numbness feels safer than letting go, safer than absence.
That's a crucial insight because the unconscious, it doesn't really track time like we do. It still remembers.
Remembers what?
It remembers the child who learned deep down, if I don't hold on tight, I'll be left. I'll be abandoned. We're tapping into very early attachment patterns here.
So the adult arm asleep is still trying to carry that old fear, that first unmet need.
In a symbolic way, yes. Yeah. It's carrying the weight of that original fear of abandonment or that hunger for connection that wasn't quite met.
We just call it different things now, right? Responsibility, loyalty, being strong. But underneath, it's that echo of needing to be held or the fear of slipping away.
Exactly. The body remembers holding your breath when you couldn't speak your truth or clutching a secret. The unconscious doesn't differentiate much between clinging to your mother's sweater and clinging to, say, a sense of obligation that's crushing you.
Wow. The object changes, but the need to hold on, that physical tension, stays the same in the arm.
It stays imprinted. That need for control, for connection, it manifests physically.
So the body's mutiny, the numbness, it's not punishment, it's like protection.
Yes, a protection mechanism. It overrides the part that's been working overtime. It essentially says, look, you can't carry this anymore, so for now, I'm taking away your ability to even try.
It's like a time capsule of how we learn to survive.
It really is. You held it all in the anger, the joy you couldn't express, the desires, held it until your fingers forgot how to open, and your arm just knew the shape of that holding. Nothing else.
Okay, so moving from the why, hold on. What about letting go? There's that point, isn't there? When you just stop fighting the numbness, you stop trying to force the arm to move or even figure it out.
Yes, the moment of surrender.
And right then, something else happens. Something loosens. In your chest, maybe? Like a deep breath you didn't know you were holding. It's almost a realization, like, maybe you're not the one doing all the holding, maybe you're actually being held.
And that connects directly to the liberating aspect. If we see the paralysis not as punishment, but as permission.
Permission.
Yes, permission to stop. The exhaustion, the wisdom, maybe even the love of the unconscious finally saying, you've held that shape, the shape of who you thought you had to be for far too long.
Wow.
You can stop performing now. You're allowed.
That completely reframes the fear around it. Usually letting go feels like losing control, like failing somehow.
But the psychological message here is the opposite. Letting go isn't loss, it's return. A return to yourself.
Okay.
And the numbness itself becomes this strange kind of invitation. It draws your attention to the silence where the fear used to be screaming. To the absence of that weight you thought was essential for survival.
So when the arm goes numb, the feelings it was holding back or distracting from, they come up elsewhere.
Often, yes. Suddenly your chest, your gut, your jaw, they might feel saturated with all the unsaid things, the untouched emotions the arm was working so hard to manage for you.
So we numb one part to keep gripping, and the body turns off the lights there so we can finally feel everything else.
It's a strategic retreat of sensation.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can finally rest and maybe recognize that you weren't ever meant to hold everything together alone.
Thinking about the return of feeling now, that inevitable part. If the gripping came from that old survival deal, hold your breath, hold back tears, hold the truth.
The silent contract.
Then the numbness is like just the sound of that old way cracking. A brief pause before feeling floods back in.
Precisely. The unconscious is hitting mute on the part that's been gripping the past, like a lifeline. But that lifeline, well, it's become an anchor now, hasn't it? Weighing you down.
An anchor.
And we see the life force, the libido, not just sexual energy, but that drive towards growth, desire, life itself. It pulls back.
Yeah.
Strategically.
Yes,
It withdraws sensation so that you can finally feel the meaning underneath it all. The grief, the longing, the unfinished business, the desire you haven't lived out. The numbness makes space for that weight to be felt.
So the arm isn't broken. It's breaking open, leaving us with the ghost impression of what we were holding. The shape of the lie or the loss, still there in the muscle.
Beautifully put, yes. The ghost of the object.
And then the awakening, that rush, the pins and needles, the flinch, maybe a gasp.
Yes, the inevitable return. And that discomfort, that prickling, that's life rushing back in. Sensation, energy, like a tide.
So what do we do with that ache?
We encourage you, when that happens, pause just for a second. Feel that ache. Not as pain necessarily, but as proof.
Proof? Prove what?
Proof that you can exist without clinging. Proof that letting go is possible. And maybe the most important proof, that the thing you were holding so tightly, it was never actually the thing holding you safe.
Wow. Okay, so you're not losing control. You're coming back to yourself, to your own rhythm, your pulse, your actual desires.
Exactly. The dream, the body, they aren't asking for intellectual understanding. They're asking you to feel your own release, to honor the part of you that carried your silence for so long.
It's like you were never falling. You were actually flying. You just forgot you could open your arms. The limb rests so you can remember how to feel again, how to want, how to just be. You're not broken. You're becoming.
The unconscious knew. It knew exactly what you needed to put down. And maybe the thing you were so terrified of letting go of.
Yeah.
Maybe it was never meant to be held captive at all. Maybe it was meant to move through you, like breath.
Freely.
And perhaps.
Yeah.
The most liberating thing isn't control after all. It's just surrender. That simple, honest act.